Hello everyone, today we're in DCS World 2.5 and we're at Dhafra Air Force Base in the Persian Gulf. And what I figured I'd do today is it's time to learn the FA-18C. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a cold start and then just go out to do some flying to explore around the area before it gets too dark out. And that's just what I'm going to do now. I just want to start focusing on how to operate the plane, and then learning the weapon systems and navigation will be a whole other thing. But right now I just want to learn how to start it, to get it in the air, and do a landing to begin my training with this aircraft. So I've studied over the manual, watched a few videos, and I'm going to try to execute all this. So we're just going to get the battery on right now. And upon doing that, you want to look for 2324 VDC. And then the first thing we'll do is we'll come over here, and now you would turn on your ground power if you're going to use that. We're going to start the APU in a moment.
Fire left.
We're going to do the fire check. So
engine fire right.
Testing number
engine fire
testing
right.
A.
APU fire. APU fire. Bleed air left. Bleed air left. Bleed air right. Bleed air right.
Okay, after the A is completed, we're going to cycle the battery on and off. That'll reset the tape so we can test B. You can also hit the normal switch for about 7 seconds. That'll work too. So we're going to get it on B. The click spot's a little harder to get.
Engine fire left. Engine fire left. Engine right fire. Engine right fire. APU fire. APU fire.
Okay, and with those tests out of the way, we're going to go ahead and start the APU in just a moment. Now the APU switch is over here. You just turn it on, and you'll hear the APU starting up. And once it's ready, a green light will illuminate. And what we're doing now, we're going to go ahead and close the canopy. You can do that with Control C, or you can click the button in the cockpit. And we're going to go ahead and crank the engine button to the right. And now if you're using the external air, you get the bleed air to off for external air start. But if not, leave it on normal. And now we'll crank it to the right. Now you're going to look for 10% N2. I let it go actually a little too long here. But yeah, 10% N2, and then you can go ahead and move the right throttle up. And to do so, you will use a shift home. I haven't found a way to click it to get it to work. But yeah, see, I went way too long here for that, just to kind of see what it stopped at. But generally, yeah, you don't want to do that. So yeah, shift home for that, and you'll hear the engine start to fire up. You can see it moved up there. And then while the engine's starting and stabilizing, that's when you can start a few more things.
Roll left, roll left. Flight controls. Flight controls.
I'm gonna get these lights on inside. The lights look really good in this F-18. I like putting them on no matter what. And then we can also start the left and right DDL, the HUD, and the MPCD. Just turn those from night to day, and they'll come on, they'll boot up. Check the comms, radios too. Check our radios. Everything seems looking good. So we can start the left engine now. And to do that, you just move the crank switch over to the left. And then to start that, you will hit the right alt and home. It's either right alt or control. It's one or the other. I think it's alt though. And that'll start the left. Looking for 61% minimum for the RPMs. The temperature should be 250 to 590 degrees Celsius. Your oil will be 35 to 90 psi. And then for the NOS, you're looking for 77% to 83%. And so if you did an external power start, you'll disconnect all that right now. And then you come over to the bleed air knob and cycle it around back to normal. Get a radar and the INS to ground. We'll arm the ejection seat. And you might want to get it on mode C depending on the airport you're at. Also come over here and take a look at the hydraulics. The O-bogs to on. Could have the flaps at half right now for the taxi. And we'll come over here and open up the CS page. Check our nose wheel steering. You know how that, you can see how that just disappeared. You can hold A to have that on while you taxi, but A will remove it. But just so you know, when the nose wheel steering is on, you'll see the light on the HUD there. And we can switch. We got our checklist on the left, and we'll get the ECS page. And we have everything cleared. If you have any excess in those boxes, you can just clear it on the left side console. Forget what it's called right now, but there is a button over there that'll clear that for you. And with all that, we are going to start taxiing. You can see we got the nose wheel steering on the HUD. And yeah, we're just going to make our way over to runway 13 left. And we're going to take off, and we're going to head towards Dubai, and we'll probably end up landing over there. But our goal today is just to explore, to check out the Persian Gulf map, and see what it's all about. But yeah, my main focus now is to learn this plane, learn the systems, and hopefully become proficient at it, because it is a lot to take in. They did a great job with this aircraft, and it's really fun to fly. Fun to do the cold and dark start. It's a little easier than an airliner, actually. It's less steps as far as getting the engine started. Very easy to do. If you can handle the airliners, you can definitely handle this. So we've moved forward just a little bit. I'm not too sure about the different areas at Al Dhafra Air Force Base, but we're getting closer to the end of 13 left down that side. Probably do some more flying too. I want to show you guys Vegas around here because it's really good. And here we are coming up to 13 left. It's getting dark a little quicker than I thought it was, so hopefully we have enough light to check out the city. I think it's more impressive during the day than it is at night. And taxiing in this aircraft, it's a little weird. You gotta have the throttle just right. You don't really use your brakes or anything. You kind of slow the plane down just by throttling back. So it takes a little bit of time to get used to. I actually want to pull up more. I don't want to stop back there. It's just, it's getting used to using the throttle to stop the plane. And the way I have the brakes set up now, if I use the brakes, it stops the plane. I have to tap the brakes again to get them off. So I might have to take a look at my brake configuration. Make sure your lights are on, your landing lights, strobe. Make sure your trim is set. I didn't show that earlier. But you just do that by pushing the button. Also on the left. I'm going to try to get a good line up here. I'm not really good with the rudder on this with the nose wheel steering. Let's get a good line up on the line. Also we'll change the left to the HUD, and then we can leave this page on the right there. Bingo fuel too, don't forget to set that. And that's the last thing I remember to tell you. So, all right, let's get out of here and on over to Dubai. Not sure why I'm getting those warnings, but I am a noob. Not sure, but we'll learn it. That'll do a little bit of aileron correction there, but not too bad. Gear up. It's real smooth, nice using a stick with this. I'm using one of the lower end sticks, but it's been working. I don't know how to get up to speed. I think the traffic pattern at this airport would normally be a left, but I went right. But we're getting so much altitude, we're gonna be way above the airport anyway. And so yeah, it's just gonna fly along the Persian Gulf, closer to the actual ocean, and then down Dubai that way, and then hopefully land it. It's probably gonna be nice and dark by the time we have to land, and I haven't spent too much time in this plane yet doing landings. But it's very impressive. The map is impressive. The plane is impressive. It's just a matter of learning it, taking the time to study up on it. The manuals are pretty good. The manuals, there's two that I've seen out there, and they explain everything really good. One of them even goes through the checklist of pictures, numbering each thing you need to do and showing you exactly what it is, which is super helpful. I think the hardest part about learning some of these aircrafts is you'll get a checklist or steps, but the biggest struggle is finding where each of those buttons are located. Sometimes they're hidden, sometimes you don't see them right away. And kind of on the downwind of the airport off 13 right, just at about 14,000 feet up, and it's going to carry us down as the sun sets to our left. But yeah, the manual really helps you learn the location of everything. So I'm just taking it one step at a time right now with DCS. Oh, and one of the most disappointing things, and I'll probably bring this up again later in case people skipped, but I was hoping to have some really nice external shots of the plane. And when I ended the mission, I hit a quit like I normally do, because when you hit quit, as long as you don't hit quit to desktop, it takes you to a debriefing screen where you can watch the replay back, no matter what, no matter if you spent 7 seconds in the plane or 70 minutes, you can watch the whole track back. So I did that, and it took me right back to the main screen, so I lost the replay of this, and that was when I was going to plan to get some of the nice external shots and things like that would have really added to the video. But it seems like after the last update, they changed it to where when you quit a mission, you no longer go to that screen. I think you actually have to quit it another way, as in tell it you're quitting the briefing because you completed it, or not the briefing, but you're quitting the mission because you completed it, And I think that'll take you to that screen, but had I known that, I wouldn't have quit this mission that way. So unfortunately lost the ability to get the external stuff. So we have reached Dubai. I went to speed ahead a little bit because we did have to fly down the coastline here to get to it. And I just want to fly to near the downtown, fly around it. I can tell you right now, definitely from what I'm seeing here, it looks a lot better during the day. That's when it really shines. No pun intended, but that's the truth. But night's looking okay. This for me is just basically a mission to just learn how to operate the plane. Which once you get started in the air, it's really not too difficult. Just, I mean, if you've been flying other aircraft, other flight simulators, it's really nothing different. Same rules apply for the most part. And you can do a little more to it. You can be more aggressive and really push the plane if you want to. But we're just going to keep it calm, keep it simple today. There's Dubai. I hope to visit Dubai one day. It's one of those cities on my bucket list to get out to this part of the world. I want to lose a little bit of altitude so we can get closer as we do our pass. I think we're far away enough, so let's make our turn back towards the city so we can see some of these skyscrapers a lot closer. Haven't really made out any airports yet. I know Dubai International is over here, of course, but it's not noticed it just yet.
Altitude. Altitude.
Approaching the city, we're going to slow down just a little bit so we don't fly by it too quick. And there we have it. I believe that is, to this day, still the tallest skyscraper in the world. I could be mistaken. But it looks good. It looks pretty decent at night. But like I said, it's a lot more impressive during the day. Had I known this flight would carry us out this late, I don't think I would have done it. And we're going to start running out of fuel. So we're going to need to look for Dubai International now and try to make a landing there. And I think that's what we have right here below. So we have an airport. We have an airport here. I think the lighting could be a lot better on that. I'm actually kind of surprised because Vegas has a lot more, looks a lot more detailed. Karen International.
Altitude. Altitude.
So I think we'll just go ahead and land there. Make our way out right, and we'll get a lineup for, I believe that'll be the 30 side, so we'll probably take 30 right. And we'll just come out here and get set up. Haven't tried the carrier in this aircraft yet. I think I'll do that now that I know how to start it and taxi. That's all you need to do when you're taking off the carrier. The checklist is a little different. There's some different things you do, but it's pretty much the same. I'm not even quite sure how much of this map is done, like how far you can go. I would assume they did it quite a bit though, so you have some room to travel. Alright, let's turn back and try to find the airport. It's usually what I struggle with the most, particularly at night. It's really hard to find the airports, and when you do try to line up and you have the dark HUD in front of you there, it can be a problem. I should have just gone off the heading and turned exactly to the opposite heading that I was traveling, but I didn't look at what we were at before I turned. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the gear. I know the airport is somewhere here. I don't know, I just feel like maybe the lights would be brighter for it, and you'd be able to notice it a little easier. Yeah, I've kind of lost it. I don't know where it's at. Okay, I got it. See, the zoom helps. You can do that with, well, you can move the camera first of all with Alt-C. That'll let you move the camera around, but you can't click any buttons when you're in that mode. But then you can also use the mouse wheel to zoom in, and that helps with seeing what's off in the distance. We have it now. We can still make it, so we're gonna have to come in like a basically starting on the base leg. Right, we're turning on for 30 right. Let's see what we can do here. We're still a little bit high, but that'll be all right. A little low on the speed. Made it onto the ground, felt like a carrier landing actually. Kind of stomped it down there. And we're just traveling down the runway. I'm not too sure even if my brakes are working. I have the left and the right toe brakes mapped, but I'm not sure if they're actually working because it doesn't seem to be slowing down. They work on the ground when you taxi, but I don't know. They're slowly slowing us down. It's pretty cool there. I just started noticing the skyline off to the left there with the sun setting behind it. Alright, so we're going to taxi to our parking now, which is going to be anything. It's just, I'm going to go park under one of those lamps before our fuel runs out. I think we actually still have enough to make it back to the other airbase.
Bingo. Bingo. Fuel low. Fuel low.
Unless I set the bingo higher than what it actually is, which could be.
Bingo. Bingo. Fuel low. Fuel low. Bingo. Bingo. Fuel low. Fuel low. Bingo. Bingo. Fuel low. Fuel low. Bingo. Bingo.
And we'll stop right here. Now as the checklist goes, you set the brake, confirm you have 3,000 PSI, paddle switch you can press to disengage the nose wheel steering, and then you're going to have to give the engines, once you shut them down, 5 minutes to cool down, and then your bleed air goes off, your throttles 2 off, flap switch full, and you can turn your comms off. All the HUDs. Then you would get the other throttle, and then the battery switch off. So I'm not doing all that in this order. That's just going off the checklist. So this was actually my very first shutdown, so I don't think I'm doing everything in the correct order. But in future videos, I will demonstrate that a little more. This is just more of a practice, just getting with it, and I wanted to end up sharing that on the channel here. So that is pretty much going to do it for us this evening in DCS World. Bringing you more with the F-18, and we'll be getting into some pretty cool stuff once I begin to learn it and we can start to play it online. But it's a lot to learn, a lot to study, but really fun at the same time. We'll get back into Oculus and check it out through that.
Bingo. Bingo.
So
Fuel
go
low.
ahead and shut the other engine off, and then we'll disconnect the battery. But now it's hard to see now that the everything's off. So we'll go ahead and open the canopy here, and that's gonna do it for us. So have a good night, everybody. You take care.